Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this shuriken out of acrylic. It used to be in one piece, but for some reason I decided to shoot an opening scene where I would throw it against the wall and it would stick. Turns out I was too violent, causing one of the tips to break. There goes my vision of a perfect intro. Luckily, as I said, there was a time when this was intact, and I'm now gonna show you the tutorial. Enjoy! So I accidentally deleted this exact scene, but basically all I did was saying that I was gonna make a throwing star. But that's nothing new to you, so let's continue. I was inspired by a video made by Wooden Weaponry where he makes a wooden shuriken like this. It was really cool and you should definitely check out his channel. Now on my template, the small one is exactly the same size as the one made by Wooden Weaponry, but I discovered that when you make something this small out of light material, it tends to tumble in flight. Therefore I drew a larger one, and this is what we're using today. By the way, you can find this hand-drawn template as a PDF file linked in the description below. Let's get going. Alright, the materials we're gonna use to make this shuriken is plexiglass, or acrylic if that's what you wanna call it. I've never used this material before, so I'm looking forward to try it out. Now, as much as I like to make a real shuriken out of metal, it's illegal in my country as I'm under the age of 21. A plastic one, on the other hand, is seen as a toy, because this won't inflict any real damage. It's basically like throwing a piece of wood. That was actually pretty good, I didn't even aim. I can already tell this project is gonna go really well. Now let's spray the template onto the plexiglass. Tip of the day, don't put the template right in the middle, because then you won't get usable scraps. This is how you do it. So the template sits there firmly, and now we're gonna cut it out. You could use anything from a scroll saw to a jigsaw, it doesn't matter as long as you keep a really low speed. Acrylic has a very low melting point, and you don't want to cut to clog up. Now I'll be using a jigsaw equipped with this very fine blade. If you have done a thorough job on the cutting, your throwing star should now look something like this. Judging by these nice edges, you can already tell that the jigsaw blade leaves a much better finish than the coping saw. Honestly, I think the tips look good enough so that we won't have to do any more work on them. Now we're gonna have to sand the insides. For this, I'll be using some 80 grit sandpaper wrapped around a thin dowel. The lines on the template gives you a good idea on how much material you need to remove. The shape is just about perfect, and now we can remove the paper template. Alright, this ain't a shuriken before the tips are beveled, and for that I will use my metal file. The angle should be something like this. So it has taken me almost an hour to get everything nice and even, but I'm now happy with how it looks. This last step is entirely optional. I'm gonna sand this up to a high grit to get rid of the marks left by the metal file. I have decided to sand the sides to a nice finish. I only went up to 400 grit because I don't want to overwork this thing, and honestly I have probably already overworked it. But now our shuriken is completely finished. Let's remove the cover. Who doesn't love plexiglass? It is completely transparent and I'm having a hard time getting the camera to focus on it because it just sees right through. And unless there's any sun glare, you can barely see this thing in flight, making it the ultimate stealth weapon. Or at least if it's made of glass, that is, because this is still just a piece of plastic, so it's not gonna do any real damage. But I really like to see one of these made in glass. It would be twice as heavy and the tips would be very sharp, effectively making this a weapon. Though the trade-off would be that it shatters on impact, because glass is very brittle and you can break it with almost anything. Anyway, I'm gonna take a few photos and then we'll go outside and see how it performs. On a second thought, I think it may be too dark here. I'll go inside again. So using my state-of-the-art woodworking skills, I made this heavy-duty target stand. I will now place various materials on the front here and see if the throwing star can break through it. First off, one sheet of paper. Four sheets this time. Let me try that again. Well, that's pretty okay, considering that this is a very light projectile. Now this is only 4 sheets of paper, so I doubt it will go through cardboard. This is just 1.5 meters away from the target, but I'm kinda surprised I even hit it. As you can see, it went in pretty far. I say it's about 20 millimeters. Looks like it weighs about 20 grams. A glass or metal version will be a lot heavier, it will have a better flight path and a greater punch, but still, I really enjoyed this project and I hope you did too. So that was all I had for today. I really hope you liked this project. I'm gonna try my best to get back to my normal upload schedule. I really hate not being able to make videos as often as I'd like to, but now I'm really gonna give it a try. This goes into the slingshot drawer, and I thank you for watching. I'm pretty sure I can get through the cardboard, I just have to try hard enough. Looks like you can't get through the cardboard using this thing.